Hello students, welcome to Learner's Planet. This is our last theory session for acids, bases and salts. And in this session we'll be studying about the properties of salts. Now you know how a salt is formed. How it is formed? It is formed by the reaction between an acid and a base. So let's study some of the properties of salts. Now, we know that salts are the product of reaction between an acid and a base. Now, what are the products formed? We have seen it in the previous session. An acid reacts with a base, right? And what is formed is salt and water. A simple reaction, say HCl reacts with NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, forming what? Forming NaCl and H2O. Okay, so what is a salt? The sodium chloride is a salt. So there are many salts produced because there are many acids. There are acids like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, phosphoric acid, carbonic acid. These are all acids. There are many more bases like sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, aluminium hydroxide. So these are all bases. So the reaction between acid and base leads to the formation of large number of salts. This you'll be studying in details in your higher grades or higher standards, I can say. Now, some of the characteristic properties of salts are, first of all, melting and boiling points. Salts are mostly solids which melt as well as boil at high temperatures. So it requires a very high temperature for a salt to melt. Salt is what? Salt is a crystalline solid. Right? It's a solid, so and it melts at a very high temperature. So this is one of the property of salt. The second is solubility in water, whether it's soluble or not. A salt will dissolve in water or not. So salts are generally soluble in water. Some dissolve at a very fast rate. Say if you dissolve sodium chloride in water, it quickly dissolves. But if we dissolve some other salt, like say lead sulfate, it dissolves, it slowly dissolves. Or it is the least soluble one. It is less soluble, you can say. Right? So lead sulfate is less soluble. Okay? But it is soluble in water. So salts are soluble in water. For example, sodium chloride, potassium sulfate, aluminium nitrate, right? Sodium chloride, it is formed by the combination of sodium hydroxide and HCl or hydrochloric acid. Potassium sulfate is another the combination of acid plus base. Right, aluminium nitrate is again formed by the combination of acid and base. Right, in this case, see why I am just removing it, because the sulfate part is from the acid and potassium part is from the base. So I should write here base and I should write here acid. Right, likewise aluminium nitrate, ammonium carbonate, these are all soluble salts. While salts like silver chloride, lead chloride, copper carbonate, they are insoluble in one. They are generally soluble, but the salt of silver, like silver chloride, lead chloride, copper carbonate, they are insoluble. Lead sulfate, it is least soluble. Or it is soluble, but it is less soluble. Right? So it's not necessary that salt, if it's a salt, it has to be soluble in water. It's not like that. So it can be insoluble or less soluble or sparingly soluble. Okay. A salt has high boiling or melting point. So the soluble salts, the insoluble salt. Now, there's one more term, that is water of crystallization. What is it? Generally, salts are found as crystals with water molecules present in them. This water is called water of crystallization, and such salts are called as hydrated salts. Say, the crystals of salts, with the crystals of salt, say suppose this is a crystal of salt, and with this there will be water molecules associated. Right? So water molecules are associated with the crystals of salt. Now these associated water molecules are called as what? Water of crystallization. Right? And the salts in the crystals of which water molecules are associated are called as what? Hydrated salts. Right? Say example, copper sulfate crystal contains 5 molecules of water per molecule. Say for 1 molecule of copper sulfate, there will be 5 water molecules associated with it. Copper sulfate is also a salt. Right? So, shall I tell you how it is formed? It is formed by the combination of copper hydroxide, which is a base, and sulfuric acid, which is an acid, of course. Right? So it is formed by the combination of copper hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Do you know what is the formula of sulfuric acid? It is H2SO4. So what happens? Copper combines with the sulfate. Right? So this way copper sulfate is formed. Right? And the product is copper sulfate, and copper sulfate is a salt. Now, as soon as copper sulfate is formed, it takes up water from the atmosphere, and what happens that, or from the solution itself, it takes up water, and with 1 molecule, 5 molecules of water are associated. Say 1 molecule of water, 2, 3, again 4 and 5. Okay? So this water associated with the crystals of copper sulfate are called as what? Water of crystallization, and this particular salt is called as hydrated salt. Right? Now water of crystallization also gives color to some salts or some crystals. So due to this water of crystallization, some color is also there in the crystal. Now see. On heating, hydrated salts lose their water of crystallization, and as a result of which the crystals lose their shape and color and change to powdery substance. Say the crystals of that particular salt, how they are formed, because each molecule is associated with few water molecules like this. Say 1 molecule of copper sulfate is associated with 5 molecules of water. Right? So if they are associated with 5 molecules of water, then only it is forming the crystal. Now if it is heated, then what will happen? All the water molecule evaporates. So the crystal will change into the powdery form. Right? The hydrated salts that have lost their water of crystallization are called anhydrous salts. Anhydrous means what? No hydrous water. So that is, the hydrated salts which have lost their water of crystallization are called anhydrous salts. Right? Now, When hydrated copper sulfate is heated, it gives out water molecules to form white powdery anhydrous copper sulfate. Say, hydrated copper sulfate, what is the formula? CuSO4, and with each molecule, 5 water molecules are associated. Now, we are heating it. When it is heated, what happens? Water evaporates. And white colored copper sulfate is obtained. It's blue in color. Its hydrated salt is blue in color, and this anhydrous salt is white in color. Right? Now, to this, which on addition of water again converts to hydrated copper sulfate. So the white copper sulfate is anhydrous and it's a powdery substance, and if water is added to it, it again changes to hydrated copper sulfate crystals, and it gives its typical color and shape. See students, this is hydrated copper sulfate. Crystals are present, small grains are present in this particular thing. Now, if this is a crystal, and if it is heated, what will happen? Water molecules will evaporate, and what will be left is white powdery substance of anhydrous copper sulfate. Right? So, anhydrous copper sulfate is what? Is a white powdery substance. Right? This is another example of magnesium sulfate, which is associated with water, the hydrated salt. It has got the crystals in it. If it is heated, water evaporates and it turns into white powdery substance. This is another example of ferrous sulfate. See, brilliant green color it is having. Now, this is again because of the water molecules associated with the molecule of salt. Right? This associated water molecules, they give specific shape and color to the crystal. Anhydrous ferrous sulfate is white in color. So because of this water molecules associated, it has got a specific color and shape. So this is another example of hydrated salt. And the water molecules associated with it are called as water of crystallization. Now students, let's take some example of salts, their chemical formula and uses. First is calcium carbonate. It's marble or limestone or chalk. The formula is CaCO3. It's acid. The acid which is there is carbonic acid. So it is formed by the combination of carbonic acid and the base. And what is a base over here? Base is calcium hydroxide. Right? It is used as flooring in the form of marble, making lime, that is calcium oxide, cement, and for extraction of iron. Another salt is sodium carbonate. It is washing soda. The sodium carbonate is associated with 10 molecules of water. Say 1 molecule of sodium carbonate is associated with 10 molecules of water. Again, the parent acid is carbonic acid and the base over here is NaOH. Right? That is sodium hydroxide. It is used in cleaning agents like detergents, water softening, and manufacture of glass. Likewise, sodium bicarbonate. This is baking soda, and here also the formula is NaHCO3. See students, sodium carbonate is a hydrated salt. That is, 1 molecule of sodium carbonate is associated with 10 molecules of water. But in case of sodium bicarbonate, none of the water molecules is associated. And the parent acid is carbonic acid, and again the base over here is NaOH. Now baking powder is used in bakery. It is used for making cakes, pastries, cookies and all, because it makes the dough soft. Another salt is silver nitrate, AgNO3. The parent acid is nitric acid, and the base over here is silver hydroxide. I'll not write the formula not to confuse you. I'll just write silver hydroxide. That's better. So the base is silver hydroxide. Right? Now it is used in photography for developing films. So silver nitrate, this acid is nitric acid and the base is silver hydroxide. And this is used in photography for developing films. Another is ammonium nitrate. The formula is NH4NO3. The parent acid is nitric acid and the base over here is ammonium hydroxide. Ammonium hydroxide. And it is used in fertilizers and explosives. Used for making fertilizers and explosives basically. Right? Potash alum is Fitkari. The salt formula is K2SO4, Al2SO4 whole thrice and 24H2O. And the acid here is sulfuric acid and our bases are potassium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide. It is used in purification of water. So bases in potash alum. What is the acid? Sulfuric acid, and bases potassium hydroxide and aluminium hydroxide. And it is used in purification of water. Common salt, that is sodium chloride, is common salt. Acid is hydrochloric acid, and the base over here is sodium hydroxide. Right? It is used as seasoning for food in manufacture of chlorine and sodium carbonate. So these are some of the common salts. Right? There are so many more salts, but these are some common ones. Right? So this completes our topic of acids, bases and salts, students. So this is all about the acids, bases and salts at your level. This is the introductory part. You'll be studying these in details in your this grade 8, 9, 10 and all. I hope you have enjoyed these sessions, students. So just go through the text and you'll be through with the concepts. Thank you very much for listening patiently and do have a nice time ahead.